Beautiful exchange. It is dark. The streets are deserted, and market stalls are closed for the night. The air is still. My breathing is steady, shallow, and paced. The Kofir's sandals scrape against the cobblestone in haste. I watch his shadow slither on the stone walls, his panicked dark form hurrying ahead of it. It is one of those nights bad things happen. Death is here. She is present, hard-pressed along the walls of the narrow alleys, peeking, waiting, and thirsting. Her breath is still, her stench putrid. An early riser will discover a body at dawn. Blood and insides on the streets, exposed. Secret personal things now lay bare to the eyes and to the birds. My face stretches into a smile, but there's no mirth. The cold hilt of the dagger cools my palm, and I follow. He glances behind him, not slowing down. Easy now. Was he going to the playhouse to play their games, to frolic with the soldiers, to do things that bring the spit up a person's throat? He smells of spices, strange foreign spices, spices of the heathen and not ours. It is mixed with his sweat, and the odor is maddening. It causes me to leap, and I grab him by the back of the neck. We land on the stone streets, him beneath. His strength is small, and the blade thrusts deep into his side. His screams are familiar, and they're awful. It is like a song, an awful song. My heart pounds, and the blade comes out and pushes in again, breaking yet another layer of skin, and then another. I'm screaming too. We make a horrible medley, and he stops first. He isn't moving. I bring my hands to my face, and they are red. The warm liquid trickles into the lines and grooves of my palm, running over the heel to my sleeves. A light wind carries around my feet, an unrushed breeze. It whispers, faint but sure. Murderer, it says. My breathing is heavy now. I stare into my hands. Already the blood was beginning to crust underneath my nails. The air I breathed tinged lightly with the metallic smell of blood and spices. I look down at the boy. At once, his face is the face of the Kofir, the betrayer, the unbeliever, the infidel. A cry tears through the still night from a strange place. It is my voice. I wake up in the small room. My eyes snap open, and it is dark. Slowly the room takes shape. I am here. I never left. I sit up on the cloth which separates me from the stone floor of the dungeon. My heart heaves in pants. My chest heaves in pants. The breeze around my feet seizes. Mice scurry away from my toes, climbing over one another to scamper into their holes in the prison walls. The air is heavy with dung and urine and some vomit. It was a dream. The chill I escaped in my slumber returns, and my teeth chatters. The shackles around my ankles are like an ice vice. The shuddering cannot be tamed. The ropes around my wrists cut into my skin. I still remember his eyes, grey and deep, like an overcast sky over the sea. He was a boy, barely growing his first chin hair. I still hear the cry. I see the veins about his temples as they strain in shock. The foul odor of excrement filling my nose as his body jerks in spasms. Excrement and foreign spices. Murderer, the end of you is near. The image of Tovi, who led the last revolt, flashes through my mind. The birds pecking at his decomposing face. The wild dogs jumping to nip at his legs as he hung on the tree. My shoulders quake as the fear slithers down my back. The chains rattle. The quake spreads to my hands, my feet, and my lips. Surely God is my salvation, I mutter. I will trust and not be afraid. But I am afraid. The price for joining the revolt is crucifixion. The brothers tell you this at initiation. It is a life of sacrifices, of purity, of hunger strikes, until every one last of the unfaithful, the unbelievers, those coffers who corrupt the people of God with their detestable ways are removed. It is a life of death, and it was the brotherhood who would prepare the way for the Messiah. My teeth chatter. I rub my hands over my arms in a hug. The Lord Himself is my strength. The voice snickers. He is my strength and my defense. Murderer, the voice says, you have no defense. The boy deserved it. Him and all the others. A Hebrew who knew not who he was, deserved whatever came at him. A Hebrew who played the Roman games and worshipped the Roman gods, who stroked Roman soldiers, who reeked of foreign spices, who knew not his God. He deserved it. It was the 15th day of the fast. We would not eat until all the traitors were dead. When Toby was arrested, the brothers had made an attempt to rescue him. 12 of them had been caught. 13 bodies hung off the city walls. All for one. There was nothing as glamorous in the days after my arrest, and still nothing now. I would die, and I would die alone. Suddenly, I look up at the ceiling. I catch my breath. There is a low rumble, like 1,000 bees swarming. There is thumping, rumbling, a quaking. An earthquake. I still myself. No, not an earthquake. It is distant and from the ground above. Ra, ra, ra. This is the sound. The mice squeak in the walls. Ra, ra, ras. Now it sounds like the rumble of thunder. A door above opens and lets in the sound. Barabbas. Barabbas. It's voices. A crowd is chanting. Barabbas. Why is the crowd out there and why do they call my name? They are calling for your head, the voice says. My bowel comes loose and warm dampness spreads across my undergarment. I sit there like prey. They want your head. Barabbas. I hear footsteps, unhurried, unified and precise, the march of Roman soldiers. They stop at my cell door and the door flies open. Hands throw me to my feet. The Lord has become my salvation. I whisper as I step into a formation of 6 soldiers, 2 at my side, 2 before and 2 behind. They walk in perfect pace, carry me along in rhythm. I must be strong. The end is near. The corridor is dark. The brisk stomps of the soldiers' feet strike the ground in determined unison. They seem only too eager to get me to my place of retribution. Maybe the brothers have planned an escape. My heart beats faster in hope. Barabbas! The crowd yells as we approach the upper door. The morning sun is blinding, and at first all I can see is a dark circle in form of the sun behind my closed eyelids. A roar of cheer erupts as I emerge. Men, women, they scream, Barabbas! A few fights break out in the crowd and the soldiers separate them. Give us Barabbas. The high priests are here, vultures, bribe lovers. They are all we have left of our truth. They stand dressed in black, close to the stairs, huddled together, whispering. The air is cloudy with dust. More people join the crowd. Another fight to the right. The brothers? Was it a diversion? I stay ready. I search the crowd. For Yavi, for Gabriel. Should I release the king of the Jews? The voice comes from my left. It is Pontius Pilate, the Roman. He is sitting on a stool. Soldiers flank him, 3 on each side. Give us Barabbas. It is then I see him on the right side of the Roman prefect. A man. His hands are bound. He stands surrounded by soldiers like me. A soldier hurls a stick at the back of his head. Another spits at him. They cackle as he lunges forward. Then he gains his balance and he is silent. A man speaks into the ear of the Roman and he looks at the bound man on his right. Give us Barabbas. This man, surely he isn't of the brotherhood. He looks at me and all ceases. The cries fade into the background and I hear nothing. I see nothing, just his eyes. Those eyes, did they glow like a flame or had I been in the dungeon too long? He does not smile, but his face is kind. There is something else, a calm, a gentleness, a peace, all peace. What manner of man is this, to be at peace in chaos? For a moment I doubt if he is a man at all. Wait, I know him. He's the miracle man, the healer from Nazareth. What is his name? It escapes me. The one who healed old Amar at the temple. He heals anything, old Amar had said, even those who dream bad, and the ones sick in the mind. Old Amar eyed me. Those eyes, they're a flame, a fire. I blink and he winces. The soldiers have hit him again, and the sound of the crowd rushes back. Take him away, have him flogged, the Roman says loudly to the crowd than to his soldiers. Crucify him, the crowd yells. Crucify him. The Roman speaks in rapid Latin. He looks at the man again. His palm catches his chin in thought. But the man is looking at me. Take him away to be crucified. I will have no part in this. They push him away, tearing his gaze from mine. A soldier kneels to remove my shackles and another cuts off my ropes. They push me down the stairs. My hands are free. My feet are free. Now I see them, my brothers, Yavi, Gabriel, and Simeon. They're in the crowd. I walk towards them, and then I stop. Yavi stands between the other two. He covers his head with his hood, and the others do the same. The sign is simple. I am no longer a brother. I have been caught, and Yavi has spoken. They blend into the crowd, and their cloaked forms soon vanish. I stand frozen, none for one. The crowd begins to follow the soldiers and the one who is like a man. What is his name? The Roman prefect gazes after them. Get out of here, a soldier swears at me. You are free. I am free at the cost of a life. The Lord has become my salvation. The words escape my lips. I begin after them, out the city gates to a place they call Golgotha. I keep my distance, threading the crowd, watching him carry a wooden beam. The whips of the soldiers eat his flesh, breaking it open with every lash. I want to rush out and help him, to carry his beam, but I cannot. I am free, but the soldiers could grab me again. I follow close behind and watch them nail him to the beam with other offenders. I stand afar off in the noon sun, but close to his cross, where again I will smell that sweet metallic scent of blood, raw, pure, and divine, where one has been crucified in my stead, his skin broken and his blood poured out as an offering. Jesus, that is what they call him, the Savior, the ransom, me for him for me, one for one and one for all. The Beautiful Exchange. Short story by Ike Adigoye. So I wrote Beautiful Exchange 5 years ago. I was intrigued by, I think the first thing that intrigued me was the literal meaning of Barabbas, his name, which means the son of the Father. And I was exploring the concept of Barabbas being the son of God and Christ also being the son of God. And it was just a beautiful thought to imagine that one child of a person was being exchanged for another. His life was being exchanged for another. He had committed several murders and he had done several things, and so he was arrested, and in the story he's brought out and he's literally exchanged for Christ, who was a pure, sinless person, and this was this man who was, a killer. And it was just beautiful because each and every one of us can identify with that. Nobody's perfect. Everyone has sinned, and it's mind-blowing that we were redeemed by a sinless person, like this spotless Lamb of God. It's stunning that he would give up his life for people who are less than perfect, and it's even more stunning that he wants us to be like him. He left us a great example, and so every day we're able to give up our lives for people in our lives, our family, our neighbors, people in our circles, people we don't even know, just to love on them and just be Christ-like.